What up, Mr. Bass Live? How's everybody doing? What's new, fishing peeps? How you guys been? I got oh, there he is. I was hoping that old Matthew might be on tonight because I wanna ask him a couple of questions about these legal dope swim baits. He put me on with these guys. In fact, if you guys remember Matthew, which is South Jersey Fisherman 28. Hey Ron, Coffee Jim. He did on his channel a live stream with the guy from Legal Dope Swim Baits, and so I ordered one from him, and that was pretty cool. Pretty cool. What up, Alex, Christopher, Terry, Caro, Roger, Terry Nance? Where have I been? Well, last week, the whole week I was in Oklahoma fishing, getting ready for and fishing a kayak tournament on Grand Lake. Hey, Grandpa Woody, good to see you, man. Layton, how you doing, man? I've been seeing your Smithville post lately. Yeah, so I went to Grand Lake for my first time on Grand Lake, and I really enjoyed it. It's a really pretty cool fishery, really. Similar to Table Rock, but in some ways I think it's a lot different. Chris, how you doing, man? Oh, you got the box. Good. Sent Chris a Mr. Bass box the other day. Fish in the Southeast, Stone Man Lures. How you guys doing? So yeah, I went to Grand Lake for the week, and that was that was kind of an interesting tournament. It was yeah, I like them too, Chris. Thanks. It kind of fooled me in that I knew they were either spawning or in pre-spawn. Wasn't sure which. And I got out there and the water was really high. They'd gotten a lot of rain. The water's really high and muddy. Man, it was like chocolate and milk. It was crazy how dirty the water was. And I was like, man, I got to find some clean water. Booster, how's it going, man? How you been? Thanks for the emails, man. Booster's been sending me an email every now and then. Yeah, chocolate milk. And one of the things that I need to do a better job of when it comes to tournament fishing, maybe some of you guys that are like the real deal tournament fishermen can fill me in on your strategies, but I have realized that too many times where I end up staying impacts where I can fish on a lake, especially with kayak, obviously. And the mistake I made, I think one of the mistakes I made was that I picked a place way north of the lake, about a 40-minute drive north of the lake. And the reason I did that was because I was able to get a really good deal on where I was staying for the week. And I kind of told myself that I would concentrate fishing the northern part of the lake since I was living way north, staying way north. The problem was that the northern part of the lake was really, really dirty. And the further south you went, the cleaner the water got. And I went around the whole lake and I scoped out spots a lot. And I kept telling myself every day, because I got there on Tuesday, fished Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The tournament was Saturday. And I kept telling myself, maybe as the days go by, the water will get clearer. And it didn't really happen. It happened a little a little bit. So I found a spot. I found a really nice creek coming in, flowing into the lake that had really clean water. And I went and practiced there day before the tournament. So Friday with a buddy of mine. The water was beautiful. It looked great. And the fish were biting, but I wasn't catching any big ones. But I knew I could catch a limit if I started there. So I went ahead and started. I started there, and I knew I was taking a risk for a couple of reasons. One, this kayak thing is a real pain sometimes. There's some great spots you can get to if you can get to them in time because you're fighting the clock. It was a 30-minute boat ride in and a 30-minute boat ride out. And I knew that was risky, but I went ahead and did it. And I caught my limit, but the wind was howling, whitecaps out on the main lake. And I didn't think it was going to win. I didn't think the wind was going to do that to me. So my plan originally was go out there in the morning, try to catch a limit. If the fishing's really good, maybe hang around for a couple hours and see if I can find a big one or two. And if not, then load the boat up and go back south, further south to the main lake and try to find some bigger fish. Kick your bass. How's it going, man? But the limit took me longer to get. I probably had a limit. Let's see, we got on the water at 7:15. I probably had a limit by 10, but I wanted to cull up a little bit. So I fished it till about noon, and then that would give me 3.5 more hours to fish. Then I was going to go back, and the main lake was so rough. I thought, it's going to take me much longer to get back. I'm just going to stay here. So I stayed in that one area and kind of milked it, and that really didn't pan out for me. I will show you guys how I did, just in case you want to see it. A lot of you guys I know don't follow this stuff, don't follow the kayak scene, but I can share my screen with you here for a second, show it to you. Let's see here. I think this is, here's the screen. So number 25, that was me. I was the last one to get a 5 fish limit. As you can see, everybody below me did not catch a limit. So it's kind of unfortunate. There was no way I was going to catch Drew Gregory, though. I had 65 inches, which is pitiful. To tell you the truth, 65 inches is really pitiful for a kayak tournament. But you can see Drew, who won it, had 90 something at 91.5 inches. He crushed me. His smallest fish was 3 inches bigger than my biggest fish. So that's how bad I did. But hey, I'm happy. I got a limit. It was respectable. Let's put it that way. It definitely isn't something to hang your hat on. But anyway, it was fun. It was fishing. Shannon, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Yeah, you're right, Booster. Drew's the man. For sure. He is the man. So I thought I'd show you guys a little bit tonight some of these 7-pound donkey. Dang. That is nice. That is really cool. Yeah, you're right, Matthew. It was still a good time. It was still fun. So if you remember when I was on Matthew's show, this was one of those legal dope swim baits that they were talking about, and I ordered this one. This is called the Tum Tum, and this color is called Moon Rocks, and this is a crank down, what they call a crank down. So you can wake it if you want, but it's really made to fish like a crank bait. If you just think how you would normally fish a crankbait. This is where and how you would fish this. This Moon Rocks color is really cool looking. I don't know. I'm interested to try it out and see if the fish like this color or not. It definitely is a Hook the Fisherman color. It's really cool looking. Couple of things about the Tum Tum. Oh yeah, that's I think it'd be a blast booster to fish with Drew sometime, because the dude is a heck of a river fisherman. David, everything held up well, except my trolling motor on my kayak broke. It wouldn't turn on tournament day. It worked fine all week during practice. On tournament day, something happened, and it will not turn now. So that also was a big reason why I decided to stay put where I was at. If I had full control of the boat, I probably would have gone out to the main lake. So this Tum Tum is 7 inches long. You can see it's pretty fat. It weighs 4.5 ounces. And he puts these swivels, 360-degree swivel hangers, so your hooks spin completely around, which for big glide baits, swim baits, a 360-degree swivel is a great idea. Yeah, Chris, my motor guide. It's the iPilot drive that comes in the Old Town Kayak, Old Town Autopilot 120. It just broke on me. I mean, the thing has been so reliable. So, I mean, it's just awesome. I couldn't believe it. And for the life of me, I can't see any damage at all. I don't know what happened, but man, it will not turn. Now, when you use the remote, if any of you use an iPilot remote and you turn it to the left or the right, you can see kind of the outer shaft down below turns. So something has broken in there or separated. I don't know if there's an internal pipe or if there's a bracket or something. I can't see. But in any case, yeah, booster's calling it the armature inside the motor. That might be it. I don't know. I hope it's still covered under warranty. So it tracks straight just fine. So I could get in and out of the lake. Now, that's a big problem. If you're a kayak angler and you get on big water, you might want to seriously think about this, because that autopilot is so heavy that trying to paddle your way out of the lake, I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it's close to impossible. It's that heavy. And it doesn't have any way to pedal it. I saw one guy out there who, because of that, he bought the Old Town, same boat as mine, but it's the pedal drive and not the motor. And then he just bought a separate iPilot trolling motor and mounted it to the front of his boat so that he can pedal it or run the motor on it. And that, until this broke on me, I mean, that's probably a good idea now. What up, Nathan? How you doing, man? So, Matthew, do you have one of his Tum Tums? I don't remember if you said you got a Tum Tum or not, but this is a very popular bait. Legal Dope Swim Baits. I was going to show you his Instagram account. He doesn't have a website as far as I know, but he has an Instagram account. So I thought I would share that screen here, share his Instagram account with you in case you're interested in any of his products. He has this legal dope swimbaits.bigcartel.com, but I couldn't get it to work. Now, I haven't tried it this week. I couldn't get it to work. The way I was able to order from him is I just sent him a DM on Instagram and told him I wanted to order one. He takes your money, and then you just get in line until he's done. But here's his I better make sure you guys are seeing the screen. Let me check here. Yeah, you guys can see this. Okay, so Matthew doesn't have the tum tum. So he makes some pretty cool stuff. I mean, you know, to each his own. Here's some more of the tum tums in different colors. His paint jobs are pretty cool looking. Gotta admit. Definitely pretty cool. And then I got this one here, the perch. This thing, as it says there, it's 6 inches long, weighs 2.5 ounces, and it's also a crank down as well. See if I can get in the screen there. Pretty cool. And then they have replaceable tails. This is like just soft rubber like plastic. You can see they're in there with a couple of nails, basically. It's a pretty nice lifelike perch pattern. Could also this could also pass as a bluegill. And they give you some spare tails. This is the spare tail for the perch. This is the spare tail for the tum tum. It even is kind of got a little thing there, but anyway. Yeah, you're right, Chris. I mean, it definitely crappie, any kind of the sunfish. That's a pretty cool looking bait. For sure. Legal dope swim baits, and his are, you know, they're handmade, and I think they cost in the $160 range is what they cost. You know, it's like any of these handmade swim baits are not cheap. What holds the tail on? It's just like 2 little nails. See there? And you can kind of see through the inside. That's it. You just punch them out, put your new swim bait tail in, and then punch them back in. So those are a couple of hard swim baits I got. And then I just posted this on Instagram because this just came in the mail today. These are brand new from 10,000 Fish. The Shimmer Swimmer 2.0. A 4.25-inch swim bait. And I think this comes in one other size too. Or the Shimmer Shad 2.0, which is more like a fluke. But here's something I wanted to show you guys. They say this gives it a different action than a normal paddle tail swim bait. I wanted to get your take on it. What you guys think? Do you think it's frog fur, or do you think this is legit? I just got them, so I haven't fished them yet, obviously, and I want to try them out as quick as possible. But it's an inverted swim bait. The paddle tail on this swim bait they put upside down. Yeah, you're right, Eric. You can just turn any paddle tail swim bait upside down. The difference, though, is the profile of this bait shape is such that your swim bait tail is truly inverted on this bad boy. So if you wanted a downward paddle tail, you've got to rig this on your jig head upside down. This is kind of a cool color. What do they call this color here? Natural. The paddle tail swim bait has an inverted tail that gives a unique hard thumping action at any retrieve speed. Plus, the equipped foil strobe strip reflects light and keeps fish latched on. So they've got this strip inside that's like aluminum foil. I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but it's right here. It kind of goes from here to the front. See that? That just gives it a little more flash, you know. They feel pretty durable. They do feel pretty tough. They look pretty good. And this, of course, is the 2.0 version. I don't know if any of you guys have ever fished the original Shimmer Swimmer, but they say the 2.0 has better action and is better than the original. So I don't know. I don't know about the upside down tail. Obviously, I have fished lots of trailers by inverting the tail for different reasons. Usually, I don't do it for a different action. I usually do it just to get it out of the way of the skirt. But maybe there's something to it. I don't know. I am going to go fish these though and try them, and then let you know how much I like them or don't. I accidentally turned that screen back on. The foil gets messed up sometimes depending on the hook catching and how you rig it. Yeah, so the Shimmer Swimmer 2.0, if you're a member of Carl's Club, you can buy this right now. But if you're not, you can't buy it yet. I was going to look on their website and tell you when you can buy it. Exclusive to Carl's Club members until May 13th. So you can't really get it if you're not a member of Carl's Club for another month. So anyway, they're pretty excited about it. I think it looks cool. And I am definitely sold on the tickle tail. I think you guys know that I put the tickle tail robo or not robo worm, robo worm. Dang, I can't think of the name of it that I put on my chatterbait trailers. Here's a little better idea for you so you can see the Shimmer Swimmer and the Shimmer Shad. The Shimmer Shad has the little tickle tail on it, which is a ton of action. Yeah, $5.49 for a pack, unless you're a member of Carl's Club, $3.84. So they're still almost $1 each. And you know, that tickle tail, you don't even have to move your bait to get a lot of action out of that little tiny tickle tail. I guess that's one thing I love about it. One downside to it would probably be that this little tickle tail is so tiny, it's going to be easy for a fish to bite that off. And I would say once the tickle tail's gone, you may as well toss this. This thing looks pretty lifelike, doesn't it? That foil inside of it does give it a different shimmer. Good question, Nathan. Anybody catch any giants over the weekend? The Mylar Minnow from OSP Lures. All right, so that's a couple of other new things I got from Carl's Club. In fact, I got a couple of other things from Carl's Club that are new that I couldn't get before because they were sold out. I showed you guys the baby bull gill, but I got me a couple of the baby bull shads in the Jekyll series, the Jekyll custom paint series. Check this one here I have in the baby bull gill. So I've already shown you this color, and I think it's a super awesome color, quite frankly. They call this color Bumblebee. And there's a lot to like about this color, I think. Caro's going to Scouts. My days of going to Scouts are over. I did that as a kid, and then I took my son, and now he's way too old for that. Maybe a grandkid someday, who knows? But there it is, Bumblebee in all her glory. These things, I don't know how big they look on the screen, but they're not very big. It's bigger than a minnow, but it's pretty darn small. It's less than 4 inches long, 3 3/4 inches long, and it weighs half an ounce. So, this is one that you could throw on a spinning rod if you want. You could throw it on a bait caster too, but as light as this thing is, if you're on a real windy day, you probably would want to throw it on a spinning rod. So Jekyll Baits got you started, eh, Stoneman? They've got some great color patterns. And then this orange one, which is called Rayburn's Revenge, to me looks like a great springtime color. I'll take it out and show you it. Eric's an Eagle Scout. I'm an Eagle Scout as well. How many Eagle Scouts we got on the line? Eagle. I got my Eagle Scout. You can't once you hit age 18, it's over. You can't get it. And I got my Eagle Scout like the week before I turned 18. I mean, I stretched it out forever. Partly because when I was young, 13, 14, 15, even 16, I was really into it. But, once you get 17, 18, you're not into it really anymore. But I was so close, I didn't want to give it up. So, Lear Home Inspection Services, that's another Eagle Scout. Rich is an Eagle Scout. Man, Eagle Scout, I shouldn't get down this road, but it meant a lot more when I was a kid than it does now. I can tell you that. When I was a kid, in fact, I can remember when I was a young guy just starting jobs, they asked you questions like, were you an Eagle Scout? When you're applying for jobs, and I'm not talking about big jobs, I'm talking like to work at the grocery store. That if you were an Eagle Scout, that was a big deal. It's not anymore. It's not a big deal anymore. All right, check out the Rayburn Red, or Rayburn's Revenge. Is that what they call it? Rayburn's Revenge. See, it's not just orange. She's got this kind of gold sparkle on the back with a little darker color. And then it starts to turn that Rayburn red color. And look at that raised gill plate that's painted black. I mean, fins. Here's your gill plate up here. I'm trying to do this backwards. And then it gets even brighter on the belly. So these were the only two colors they had available. So I snagged them. And I like them quite a bit. Yeah, you could burn this too. You could definitely burn it. So guys know I love the Mike Bucca stuff. I think the bull shad is cool, and if you can get a Jekyll color, that's even cooler. For sure. Let's see. What other stuff did I get in the mail here? I was going to show you guys something else that I've started using out on the kayak. You guys know that I really like these bags. Like here's a bag, and I put my Fat Swing Impact Kitex in. I love these bags. They're great. But for kayak fishing, I usually use boxes, you know, Plano boxes that are the Busby boxes. But this tournament, I decided to try something different. 6 Cents had their smallest bag on sale. Look at how tiny this guy is compared to that big bag I just showed you. It's tiny. It's almost too tiny, but I found that using these bags really helped me find my lures quickly. So what I did was I made me kind of what you would call a day pack for the tournament. So I knew I was going to fish some Cincos, or stick baits. So I threw just the stick baits that I thought I would use, and I also put hooks in here because I was fishing them wacky style. And then I didn't even have to break into my terminal tackle. I could just pull this bag out and go fishing with exactly what I needed. And I did that with a lot of stuff here. I made me a wobblehead bag because I was throwing the wobblehead quite a bit. And look what I did here. I actually took my wobbleheads, put them in a little plastic tube, threw them in the bag, and I got everything I need. My hooks, my wobbleheads, and the exact baits I was throwing in the tournament, just like that. What sucks about these bags is you can't, once you write wobblehead on here, you can't get it off. If you don't put it in permanent marker, it doesn't stay on. And if you put it on permanent marker, you can't take it off. Now, I take permanent marker off stuff all the time. All you need is acetone, and it'll wipe the permanent marker right off. But I tried that on here, and it doesn't just wipe the marker off. It wipes the entire label off forever. Gone. So that kind of sucks because I like to have my stuff labeled. So I also made me a little swim bait bag, and I didn't label this because I may not use this bag permanently for swim baits, but just for my tournament, I knew I was going to throw some swim Cincos. I knew I was going to throw some Haze Dong shads. I knew I was going to throw some of the Z-Man swim baits, which I can't remember what they're called, diesel minnows. And I even put I put my swim bait heads and all my swim baits in the bag, ready to go. And then I could just put each bag in my crate in my kayak, and it was really easy to grab my stuff and go. I kind of like that strategy, and I think I'm gonna keep doing it for a while. I was gonna show you some new spinner baits I bought for the tournament. I didn't really end up catching any fish on spinner baits. I thought I would because Grand Lake is kind of known as a spinnerbait lake. But yeah, Roger, painter's tape might not be a bad idea. I got a label maker, Matthew, but I don't think it'll stick. I don't think the labels will stick and stay on the bags. I think it's pretty cool, Nathan, but I don't have any of that, any of the spunk shads myself. So wobbleheads oh, here's a bait I threw for 5 minutes. I didn't get any bites on it. I didn't want to waste time on it. I've already shown you guys this in a previous video. the dancing bone doctor. I know this will catch fish. I just, in a tournament situation, I didn't have time to experiment for very long and see what it would take to get them to bite it. But any of you guys that are new that haven't seen the dancing bone doctor, I'll show it to you out of the package. This sucker is about as unique of a lure as you will ever find. The action in the water of this thing is amazing. It also makes a really good jig trailer, believe it or not. It comes in a couple of sizes, and this one I just put on a shaky head and or a Ned head. You can also Texas rig it. Look at that crazy thing, man. There's nothing out there that's that psychedelic. Fish corpse, yeah. Looks like a skeleton. It's not, well, Stoneman, it is fragile in that, I mean, it feels like pretty durable plastic, but let's face it, all these little appendages, you know they're not going to stay on when a fish attacks this thing. But a fish doesn't care if it's perfect. You know, it could be missing half of these little ribs, and it's still probably going to catch fish just fine. The bone frog, the dancing bone doctor. I really love the look of it in the water. That's what it looks like if you want to pick some up. They have a 4.2-inch size, and then they have like a 3.6, I think. I don't have any of the smaller ones. I've only got these bigger ones. I took some of the bellows gills with me, Booster, but I didn't fish with any of them. It does float JL wise, but it is not a Lastec. But it gets plenty of floating action in the water. Those tentacles just kind of float up in the water. They look very, very realistic. This is my secret sauce killer shaky head bait that I bet none of you are using. And I caught most of my fish on a Ned rig with this bait during the tournament. So I'm going to share with you an awesome bait that a friend of mine hooked me up with that I bet you're not fishing with. I'm letting the cat out of the bag here. This is a really cool bait that does wonders on a shaky head. Here it is. It's by Croc-O-Gator. I bet some of you have never even heard of Croc-O-Gator before. It's called the Swamp Bug. The Swamp Bug by Croc-O-Gator. And it kind of looks like a dancing bone doctor. Well, maybe. Check it. It's not real big, but it is. It's super thin, but all these appendages on it make it look bulkier in the water. And then it's got this big single curly tail like a grub. And this thing works great on a shaky head. And these are the shaky heads that I use for it. The Shaker Football Head by Croc-O-Gator. Bam! You put these two together, that is a deadly combination. Deadly. So I got a few different colors I'll show you here. This color here is called Green Pumpkin Orange Flake, and this is the color I was catching them on. Just because springtime, I like a little orange in the springtime. It's a natural green pumpkin color, but it's got orange flake. That's the one I was using. I got two other colors here, though, that I did throw some. This one is called Moss Candy, which is like a candy craw color. Green pumpkin candy color. or a watermelon candy. Ooh, sparkly, pretty, colorful. The swamp bug. Salamander crossed with a helgamite. Yeah. The old helgamite. And then the last color is another one that I think you guys who watch me a lot know. I really like green pumpkin with a little blue in it. This is called Green Pumpkin Blue Swirl. There you go. If you have never tried it, I highly recommend the swamp bug. And of course, you don't just have to fish it on a Ned rig or a shaky head. It's like many soft plastic lures. You can fish it a ton of ways, but I like it on those little shaky heads. Illuminathan. If they still make the Crocagator buzz baits, I don't know. I've never fished with them. So yeah, that was my bait of choice, and it got me my limit in the tournament. That and the other thing that I caught a lot of fish on was the plain old TRD from Z-Man Lures and the Drews. What's the Drews color called? Drews something. It's such a natural looking color, that Drews. Can't remember the name of it. Drews something. One of you guys will know what it's called. I like that color a lot, and it worked great on the old Ned rig. Last thing that I caught them on, I can't tell you though what the name of these are. Just a local guy makes these down at Lake of the Ozarks, and I can't even. It's a jig. It's a finesse jig. Drew's Craw. Yeah, maybe that's what it's called. Drew's Craw. This thing, the fish really liked a lot as well. And what I've been told from the guys that know that fish this jig a lot is that what makes this little jig head so special is the fact that it has very few strands. I think it's got like 13 strands on it. It's got a really nice beefy hook to be such a small jig. And this thing, the bass were crushing this. They loved it. And I paired it with the power, I paired it up with just a plain chunk, but Max Scent chunk. Put a little Max Scent chunk on this thing. And they likey the Max Scent. I think I'm not an expert on Max Scent yet, but I've made a couple of deductions about it, which you can tell me if you think I'm right or not. One, I think Max Scent, hands down, works better with smallmouth than any other fish. I think they key in on it more. There's something about that Max Scent that I think smallies like better than largemouth. And the only reason I say that is because, and this might be your deal, Booster, I don't know how many smallies you fish down there in Georgia, but it seems like when I throw Max Scent with largemouth, they just don't care. It's not like the bites turn off, but I do not get nearly the bites on Max Scent with largemouth the way I do with smallmouth. That may be what's going on, Booster. Now, this is just my own little experiment. I could be totally off the wall, but I swear The smallmouth crush this thing like you would not believe, and you throw it out in front of largemouth bass, and it's just kind of like there's no scent on it at all. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. I do think that I've started fishing spots with this too, and it seems like the spots like it better than the largies as well. So I kind of think now I'm starting to think in my mind, always throw max scent if you're fishing for smallies. Definitely try max scent if you're fishing around spots, spotted bass, or Kentuckies. And if you get to the old big largemouth girls, don't waste your money. Just get the regular power bait stuff and it's probably fine. Cox juice. Speaking of expensive, man, that Cox juice is pricey. So anyway, that little jig paired with the little power bait chunk, I was catching all my spots, my spotted bass on that. In my largemouth, I was catching on my Crocogator swamp bug. So, is that all I've got to show you guys? No, I got another thing I was going to show you. A couple other things. I bought some of these, and the package looks all tore up because I had it in my kayak and I've rubbed on it. Anybody thrown these yet? I have not thrown them. As you can see, the package has not even been opened, but I was at the tackle store the other day, and these look so lifelike to me. They look like, like live shiners. They just look great. But I've not tried them yet. Have any of you guys tried these? The Champ Swimmer. This looks like it just looks very, very lifelike. They call this color HD Gizzard Shad, and it definitely looks like that, but it also kind of looks like a sexy shad. I don't want to open the package because it's stapled shut, and then once I open it, it might, until I'm really going to use them. But I was wondering if any of you guys have thrown this particular one. Because I think it looks so lifelike. Now, it's pretty big. It's almost 5 inches long, 4.5 inches. It looks like live bait to me. I mean, a lot of soft plastics don't really look like a real fish, but this thing looks like live bait to me. Uh-oh. I got a doorbell ringing. Okay, last thing I'm going to show you guys. I've been buying a lot of these lately. And I know, yeah, that is the dinner bell. These things for the longest time were impossible to get your hands on, and now they've caught up, and they're dropping these a lot now. And this is an excellent soft swim bait. They're pricey as well. I think they're like $34 for a pack of these things, I think. And they come in different colors. This is the color they call blue, I think. I'll take one out of the package and show you. But these are killer. You can get them in the 6-inch and the 7-inch. And this is blue or possibly silver. I think this is blue, this is silver. They're so close in color. Guess what this color is? Gold. This is gold. Yeah, he's not going to drop the price, Matthew. Why drop it? He sells them. He sells them like that all the time. And then check out this color. This one I'll take out of the package. Get a little darker water, a little stained water action going on. That's a unique color. You can see, though, how big these things are. They're big and they're beefy. They've got a big hollow cavity inside here. And he's designed this, and this is part of the clever thing for this bait. He's designed it so that the owner beast hooks fit perfectly on these things. Oh, I thought I brought the owner beast hook so I could show you if you don't know what an owner beast hook is. So the 10-aught owner beast hook is what you use for these bigger ones. And I think these smaller ones you can use a 6-aught, but these things swim well. They're very durable, and you can use some of that that Mend It type stuff, and they last even longer. But that's a really nice bait, nice color. They are big baits, but the fish seem to really like them. They got really lifelike eyes. They track well in the water. They're not super heavy. The 7-inch is 2.5 ounces, and the 6-inch is 1.5 ounces. So you could throw this on a big frog rod. You could throw it on maybe if you have an A-rig rod. But if you don't have a swim bait rod, you could still throw these. But you got to think, this one little guy's $15. No, $17. So they do last a long time, but you want to be careful about when and where you throw these because they're kind of crazy. Thanks, Terry. Well, I should be doing a show on Wednesday night with Steve. We've got some good things planned, some fun things planned that I think you guys will enjoy. I should be getting back into the Spin to Win show. Should have one coming up this weekend. And we should get back on track and go from there. Oh, spinner baits. Grandpa wanted to see the spinner bait. Sorry. Yeah, they're right here. I got a whole spinner bait, chatterbait bag is what I did here. Let me show them to you. Terminator. Terminator makes a great spinner bait, boys and girls. I'm just saying. Go out and get you some Terminator spinner baits if you've never tried them. Now, I thought the water might be a little dirty, so I went out and bought some big Colorado blade spinner baits. I got these 3 colors. I was trying to find some even more pronounced colors, if you will, but this is all I could get on short notice because I wasn't going to, I've got a lot of my own, but I wanted some with some orange blades on them as well. And I took those out. I don't know if I got them here. They might be upstairs with my rods. But in that kind of darker water in the springtime, I like to have an orange blade on my spinner baits as well. Dang, I don't have any here to show you. I also bought some Booyah. The Booyah ones are the ones that came with the orange blades, but I don't have them down here. Sorry. I kind of teased you there, and now I can't show you because I don't have them handy. I did throw a bladed jig a little bit, but the bladed jig bite wasn't on. You know what's frustrating on this tournament is I was doing the right thing. A lot of guys went down there and they were throwing spinner baits and moving baits, and the moving bait bite just wasn't happening. It was the jig bite, the flipping bite, the Ned rig, the slow moving baits are what was killing it. And if I just prepared a little more, I think I really could have done much better on that thing. So it's kind of disappointing that I kind of blew it there. But these Terminator spinner baits are the real deal. If you're in the market trying to find a cool spinner bait, go check them out. You won't be sorry with them either. All right, I think I'm done. I should be posting another video or two. I'm going to be posting a few other videos that you'll see shortly. Thanks everybody for joining me tonight. It's been fun. Be sure to tune in Wednesday night for Get Your Fish On and the Mr. Bass Show. And we'll be giving you more info on it here tomorrow and Wednesday. And then Saturday. Hit that like button if you would. I would greatly appreciate it. And thanks again, everybody. I hope you have a great week. No. Nathan, I've still got the spunk shads. In fact, when you were asking me about the spunk shad earlier, I was thinking of something else. I've actually been throwing them. I put them on my chatterbaits. I might actually have one on here. Yeah, I've been throwing the spunk shads. I like them a lot, dude. Nope, I don't have any in my bag here. They're up on my boat. But yeah, those spunk shads are great. The Hog Farmer lures baits. I'm gonna start buying a lot more of those. I like those a lot. Dude, Booster, Better Call Saul. That is a freaking great show. I love that show, Better Call Saul. I've already watched the whole thing. I've watched it twice because I watched the first 4 seasons last year whenever they came out. And then when I heard season 5 was coming out, I went ahead and watched all 4 of them again, plus just finished the 5th season the other night. Great show. Fantastic. All right, boys and girls and fishing friends, have a great night. I will see you guys later. Have a great week. Bye-bye.